Hello and welcome, beautiful, vibrant souls, to today's Pick a Card reading. Today we are going to be looking at what does your person miss the most about you right now. Excuse me. I will say that I had the intention going into this that this was kind of more of a romantic lean. However, you can watch for whatever type of connection you have in mind and apply the parts that fit, and kind of, let go of the rest. This can be for really any set of circumstances, outright separation, no contact, maybe they're just traveling for work and you're wondering, they missing me, they thinking about me, or if you guys are long distance, or just, in those times where you're not together, what this person's really thinking about. This could apply to a current partner, an ex, a missed connection, you name it. So, yeah. That's what we're going to be doing a deep dive into today. So we have 3 options to choose from today. Now, I did use the Herbcrafter's Tarot for the actual reading, but for the signifiers, I felt called to pull cards out of the Family Tarot. So for group 1, we have this 7 of Wands. Can you guys see this? Hang on, let me just peek. You can. Oh, lovely. For group 2, we have this Death card. And for group 3, we have the 10 of Wands. So feel free to take your time, meditate, contemplate the stacks in front of you. Once you have selected one that best resonates either, with your energy, their energy, or the energy of the situation, you can head down to the timestamps in the description box below. And with that, I think we're going to get started with group 1. Hello, group 1. Okay, so I will admit, normally if you've been here for a minute, you know this about me, but I like to try to not look at your cards as much as possible so I can discover them with you. But this is my second take at this reading, so I actually have seen your cards. Sorry about that, but I will reiterate what I was picking up on. So just because of this image with the 7 of Wands, oh my God, I'm sorry, my allergies. This particular version, I feel like you and your person, I'm almost getting that you're not together, but you're not completely outright, no contact for many of you. I feel like you're in limited contact with this person. Maybe you guys have decided to take a little break, and then come back to it later. But what I feel like is happening, because normally the 7 of Wands shows a guy on a hill and he's got a wand and he's fending off 6 wands. But this one, he's carrying them in a bundle, almost kind of like the 10 of Wands, and he's wading through this water. And we have these mountains very, very clearly appear. So mountains are always indicative of or symbolic of obstacles. I feel like your person, excuse me, in this connection, there are some very blatant, obvious obstacles that would need to be overcome. Perhaps you guys have very different backgrounds. You guys might be at a distance from one another. You have very different lifestyles or belief systems or something like that. And this is very known to both of you, right? Maybe one of you is currently in a connection and the other one is waiting for something to happen. There's something here where there is a very clear set of obstacles, or a very clear obstacle in you guys having a successful, happy, harmonious relationship. And the thing is your person, because they're wading through the water, and water is always indicative of our emotions and intuition in the tarot. Excuse me. Not only is your person being led by spiritual insight, by their intuition, by, spirit guide messages, but they're really being called to sort through their emotions, right? Almost wade through their emotions before handling this task, whatever this would be, in order to ensure that you guys come together in a successful way. So for example, if your person's in a connection right now, they're sorting out their feelings first before they would need to take action. So separating from their current partner, or, they're separating from their partner, but before they then, come toward you, there's an element to which they know they're going to have to do something challenging or there's going to be a challenge they need to participate in overcoming in order for you guys to come together. So before they even entertain that, they're trying to figure out how they feel. They're trying to sort through their emotions. And because the wands are also our passions and inspirations, they do have a lot of like, you know, excited, passionate feelings about you. And I don't just mean that like in terms of attraction. Like they are drawn to you. They want to be around you. And this is what is inspiring them. Sorry, it's really weird, but as I'm talking, I'm tasting like Jolly Ranchers. So I don't know if your person really likes candy or really likes like it's like the Jolly Rancher chew kind of like little candies. So like I don't know if they like those or you like those. I'm just throwing it out there for whoever that applies to. But yeah, your person's like really wading through their emotions and like clearing their emotions first, getting a good handle on their emotions. I'm so sorry. In order to prepare themselves. So that was coming through very strongly. So like I said, I have already seen your cards. Sorry. But yeah, here we go. We have a fork in the road. This is the 13 that reduces to a 4. We have change, and that is a 5. We had past life stuff to work out. You weren't wrong for doing what you needed to. We've done this dance for lifetimes. I have thoughts about that. Bad attitude. So this is 64. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, my allergies, you guys, I'm sorry. That's 64, but that reduces to a 10, which reduces to a 1. And yours was interesting. I'm so sorry, because your 3 tarot cards came out all together. But you have the 4 of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles reversed, and the Empress reversed. Okay, so I'm going to try to remember what I've been channeling before a little bit. So first of all, with this Empress reversed, you could be a Taurus or a Libra or be dealing with one. I'm almost feeling like this person could have Moon or Venus in their 2nd or 7th house potentially, or in Taurus or Libra. I'm so sorry. But what I'm seeing here is like a pretty clear kind of like storyline. So your person has this wound. This could be a mother wound with the Empress reverse. This could just be a wounded relationship to the divine feminine energy. But they have had a pretty significant experience that's really shaped them. And what this has created for them is, with these 2 cards, the inability to accept love. What we usually see with the 7 of Wands is, you know, the man has a wand and he's fending off 6 wands. And the 6 of Wands represents victory, you know, success, excuse me, public recognition. So the 7 of Wands can carry with it an energy of almost like self-defeat or self-sabotage if you're not careful, right? It's where you're being defensive or closed off to the point where you're closing off your success. Oh my God, I'm sorry, you guys. So your person has been dealing with that in one way or another. We have this bad attitude here, right? Where this person's like dumping a heart in the trash can. So what I feel like is happening is that your person had a really significant experience. And this could be even, you know, coming in from past lives, following them into this life. There could be a lot of like really heavy karmic cycles around the divine feminine in general, but the mother energy in particular, where I feel like because they got their love for this person was thrown away or rejected, they now carry that with them. So they reject people, because all these hearts in this deck, you'll have some that are broken and some that are whole. All of these are whole. None of them are broken, and they're all in the trash. Excuse me. So there's this level to which this person unconsciously has been rejecting healthy love, rejecting people who actually really love them. And so you might see where this person, like for example, if this person's already in another connection, or they have some type of like, maybe this is interference from family, they're more likely to cater to or placate people who are unhealthy in their love for them. So people who are demanding, people who, don't accept them for their authentic selves. And you're looking at this kind of being like, I'm here, I'm ready to have like something real with you, I accept you as you are, I love you unconditionally. But the problem isn't about you loving them unconditionally. The problem is they can't love themselves unconditionally, and as a result they have blocked off a lot of love in their life. This person has a massive block toward receiving because they do have that wounded divine feminine energy. I do not think they were aware of this for the longest time, but they are either aware of this now or they are becoming aware of this as a result of knowing you. And again, they're wading through their emotions before they decide if they're ready to take on. It's like they're looking at all these obstacles, and it's kind of like they're not even thinking about that right now. Excuse my burp. They're dealing with their emotions first. Sorry if you can hear that outside. There's like a bunch of motorcycles and trucks pulling up. There's an event that's being set up outside across the street from my house. So sorry about that. So this person, first and foremost, really wants you to know, aside from the fact that, they're missing you, they want you to know that you've really caused a shift within them. You've woken them up. Because with this Four of Cups, whatever happened here to inspire this wound has caused them to kind of not really be able to again, accept love. They've been sitting on the sidelines for a very, very long time. In this particular deck, 3 of these cups are full, but 1 is empty, right? So it's like even when other people are giving to them, their full cup, giving them authentic love, they can't accept it because their cup themselves is empty. Right? And so maybe deep down they know this, and that's why they kind of like, they also might kind of run hot and cold, where like they get close to people and then they kind of back away. And it is like a block toward receiving love, but they've also become increasingly aware of this, and this might be where they're like, I don't really know if I'm ready for anything. So this could be the person that's like, I'm not looking for anything serious. They're very emotionally unavailable. So they want you to know that you really brought this to their attention in a very unique way. You've gotten their attention is what I'm hearing, really. Excuse me. What this person also really wants you to know, and I know this isn't quite the focus of the reading, I'm going to get into what they miss about you, but I do feel the need to pass along some messages. These 2 cards right here, right? We have past life stuff to work out. We've done this dance for lifetimes. You and this person have past life energy together. So if there's an immediate sense of familiarity, of knowing, of just kind of like, God, I feel like I've seen you somewhere before. I feel like I've met you, right? You're just very comfortable with each other. I feel like this can be an intense thing early on because you're very comfortable together, but any areas where you put pressure on each other or you antagonize each other are like that much more intense, that much more quickly, because it's not just from this lifetime, it's other lifetimes adding to the pressure, right? So if you're like, how do we know each other, like so well? Or like, how is it that we've only known each other for a couple of months? And like, when we're in a good groove, we're in a great groove. But when we fight, it's just like, it's like we've been fighting for years. I don't know. And it's because there's all this like past life energy backed up, right? And especially with we've done this dance for lifetimes. So when I was making this deck, I made this card very specifically. See how there's like lots of different shades of blue and some green, and there's like all the different brush strokes, and there's a lot of different textures. It's supposed to be kind of like a panoply of different, emotions, like and experiences, and back and forth, and a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You and this person have had a very rich experience together at the soul thus far, and your person really wants you to know, if you put down like a boundary, or you've taken a step back, you've called your energy back, however it is that you've handled yourself in this situation, they want you to know you're not wrong for taking the steps that you needed to, because this has been a part of your soul contract for multiple lifetimes. You're trying to work this stuff out together. You have past life stuff to work out. And this also could apply to their relationships with other people, whether it's, family, or they're in another connection. But I really feel like this is specifically aimed toward you, like whatever you've been trying to work out, figure out, they want you to know you're not wrong for doing that. And even if it hasn't been like really tumultuous between the 2 of you, because I'm also getting another message here where this could very much be, like, let's say, they're entertaining multiple possibilities, or they're already in another connection, you put up a boundary and you're like, okay, I can understand that, but excuse me, this is what I want. So until you decide that that's what you want and you're ready to invest in that type of connection with me, we need to take some space, or we need to, like, our interactions can only go up until this point. You set up some type of parameters with them. They understand, and they want you to know that they're working out past life stuff with other people, both this person who initially wounded and hurt them, as well as anybody they might be involved with right now. So that's like a separate message, but they do really want to let you know that. So what this person misses about you, first and foremost, is I feel like you inspire this person to change. I even like how these colors are the same as these colors. You also inspire this person to change how they view their emotions. You give this person a sense of competency when it comes to their emotions, right? Because this person, again, they're wading through their own emotions and they're carrying all these wands like it's a bundle, kind of like the 10 of Wands. And it's like, okay, you know what? I'm motivated. I'm inspired to deal with my emotions, to do my healing. I'm inspired to figure this out. Because I'm almost feeling like, since the water's up to this person's waist, I'm almost feeling like when this person has tried to deal with their emotions in the past, they felt like they're drowning. You make them feel like they can be competent in dealing with them. So maybe you've shared something with them. I'm hearing too, with fork in the road, you might give really great advice. Excuse me, you might give really, really great advice. You may have, this is like kind of almost death card meets judgment card to me, so it's like really Pluto energy. You may have gone through a significant transformation yourself, and you really inspire this person. It's like they take that inspiration, and it's what, excuse me, it's what motivates them to move forward. This also could be where, you've really told this person, like you've kind of called them out a little bit, and I don't feel like angrily, but just like, you sort of told it like it was, and kind of pointed out to them areas where they might be stuck in their own lives. And something about the way, I'm just looking a little closer. What is this on top of his antler? I can't tell if it's like a little turtle or if it's a little house. Interesting. So that might be symbolic for somebody here. I really can't tell. Like, my eyeballs are not that good. But, you could have really sort of like called this person out and made them realize they need to change. Like, that's the biggest thing that they appreciate, I will say, about you, is that you've really inspired them to realize they need to make some kind of change. They need to do something. Like, bust a move here, kid. I don't know. You got to do something. They realize as well, you really highlighted for them that they've had poor perceptions and attitudes when it comes to love. And this might stand in stark contrast to how you are about love. Or this could be, again, where this feels like you just very, placidly were very honest with them, right? Where it's, like, I don't get the feeling like you yelled at them, or, this doesn't feel like there was any pettiness or game playing. It's just kind of like I feel like you kind of, if you addressed it with them at all, it's kind of very much like, I noticed this pattern, and this, this is a problem because of XYZ. Or like you may have given them information, especially with their emotions, and especially related to family healing, where it's like, oh, I've noticed this pattern, like, let's say, I don't know, maybe it's attachment theory. You're like, I've noticed this pattern in you, and it seems to be in alignment with, this attachment style. It might be helpful for you to look into that, or if you want to know more about it, we can learn more about it, right? Things like that. Or like, oh, I've noticed this pattern with your, mother, for example. Like, I've, from what you've described or what I've seen between the two of you, it seems like you guys are experiencing XYZ. Tell me more about that. Like, you've elicited this from this person. You may have shared this really useful information. So this person really misses your support on this journey. They also know, even because look at, like, we have the land on either side, but then it opens up into the water. Again, it feels like something about this, they normally feel like they're drowning, right? Because they're showing me, like, if this water was way deeper than this water. Like, you may have helped them get onto a path where like let's say the water drops off and is super deep on this part here. I know I'm kind of going into it, but like that's what they're showing me. You help this person get their head kind of like above water when it comes to their emotions. You may have, helped lead them out of a really difficult time. You may have met them when they're going through a lot of change. It's just like you always know what to say. You have a lot of wisdom to offer, and you have a lot of empathetic wisdom to offer. Like you're not sitting here being super judgmental or telling them, well, you should just do this or you should just do that. You're really sensitive to like the human condition, right? Like the difficulty of what your suggestions are asking them to do, and thus like you don't judge them if they don't take up your offers or your advice or suggestions right away or something like that, because you understand that people take time to grow and change. And they really, really appreciate that, because they may have dealt with a lot of people before that try to tell them how to live their life. And it doesn't, what I'm hearing is it doesn't help them. So if they've ever, like, let's say this is a parent who tries to tell them what to do all the time or tries to manipulate and control them, like when they're being bossy about it, it doesn't help them learn to think for themselves. It doesn't help them learn how to like ask those important questions like, is this honoring me? Is this respecting me? Do I want this? And I feel like they've never had to ask themselves those questions so blatantly before, but there's something about your presence in their life that causes them to ask those questions. So maybe you're the first person that's ever asked them things like, well, what do you think about this? How does this make you feel? Right? Is this in alignment with you? Does this honor you? Or however it is that you would phrase those types of questions. But I feel like you get them to think. You inspire them to actually take their real needs into account, because again, with this Empress reverse, I feel like they have a deep wound here around around how to accept healthy love. Like they're not really, I don't think they've been taught to think about it before in terms of like, is this person supporting, like, is this relationship or this connection, this person, this pattern, this habit, is it self-constructive or is it self-destructive? And I feel like however it is you phrase those questions or those insights, you get them to think about it differently. So what they're missing right now, I think more than anything else, they really miss your conversations. They really miss your advice, your wisdom. I don't know if this person ever told you that they really look up to you as somebody who kind of provides guidance and is a mentor to them, especially emotionally. But you really do. Like they really appreciate it. And I think there's a part of them that knows they have to walk a certain, I didn't mean to bump the desk, walk a certain part of their path alone before they can set out on this next journey. But they do understand that. I want to kind of pull some more cards though. I want to figure out what else this person is missing about you. I'm just grabbing the deck. Yeah. So what else is group one's person really missing about them? Yeah, exactly. Ace of Swords and the Fool. Yeah, exactly. So I want to pull one more though. And the Eight of Pentacles. Holy shit. No kidding. And I wanted to look at the top. We have the Eight of Cups reversed. This person, even if you guys are separated, yeah, because the King of Cups is at the bottom. This person loves you. This person does not want to be in separation for long. They have not truly let you go in their heart, even if they've had to put the brakes on or walk away for a bit. And they want you to know that. So what this person kind of continuing, what this person really misses about you with the Ace of Swords, the Fool, and the Eight of Pentacles is exactly what we're talking about. Excuse me. It's your conversation. It's the enlightenment you bring. It's hard to tell, but there's a barbed wire fence and the yarrow is growing through that. It's like the way that you're able to give a new perspective to a painful situation. And this, I feel like, can be like, no pun intended, a double-edged sword. I feel like this person's used to repressing their emotions. Excuse me. So they may not recognize how much damage a situation has done or how painful it's been for them, and the way you ask questions about it, like it's like the way you elicit that from them gets them to really think about it differently. It also gets them to think about, with the Fool here, the new directions they want to go in. We talked about this again. It's like they're preparing for this new journey, right? We have the Monarch here as well. So they are going through this transformation and this change, and they miss your wisdom. They miss talking to you if you guys are not in communication, or the way that you guys used to talk. Because with the Eight of Pentacles, they are really trying to do the work, right? We have turmeric as the plant for this card, and that's like mad good for you, but it's also a really wonderful anti-inflammatory. And it's kind of like especially too with dandelion. Dandelion root is, dandelion's gonna be really great for helping with liver function. So it's something where it's like helping them filter out toxic things in their life and like, you know, almost like if you could imagine reducing the inflammation in your life, right? Like there's, you help them in that process of becoming a better, healthier, happier, more peaceful version of themselves. And it's kind of like this energy where it's like, you know, it's got to get worse before it can get better. I feel like they're looking at the situation and they're like, okay, I know I need to make these changes. I know that I need to start organizing my life differently. I need to start prioritizing my healing above these other things that I've been participating in or chasing, right? So what this person misses about you, they miss your optimism. They miss, you know, the Eight of Pentacles. This is a hardworking kind of energy, and so in relationships, this is somebody who wants to do the work with you. This is also somebody who's not afraid to like get their hands dirty. So when this is like your energy, they notice that you're the kind of person who will, you know, if they have a problem or they're like struggling, you know, you're not going to just sit there and be like, oh, that sucks, sorry to hear that, and then be like, okay, bye. You know, you're the person who will sit down and ask them questions. You might be, you know, very empathic, very intuitive. Some of you I'm getting, you might be like that kind of counselor mentality. You could be an INFJ if you're into the MBTI, something like that. But it's like, you will sit down and you will do like the dirty work with them essentially. And you've taught them through your interactions how to start doing that process for themselves. So even though they're doing it for themselves, they miss being able to process this with you. You're a very safe space. And they really also do miss your wisdom. They also miss being able to observe your behavior as like an example. I'm almost getting right, because they've seen that you've done this work in your own life, and it's kind of like they almost kind of wish they could hear more of your stories, because I feel like this person wouldn't be very direct and like ask you. I feel like this person would, you know, try to be very sideways, because again, I don't think this person's very connected to their needs. So I don't think this person, or like connected to advocating for them. So I don't think this person's going to be like, hey, you know, I'm struggling with this thing. You know, what would you suggest I do about it? I feel like this person would like complain about whatever it is they're going through in the hopes that you would throw out stories and suggestions. And so if you guys are kind of, you know, not talking a whole lot right now, they do miss that opportunity to learn from your experience and your wisdom. So this person, you know, to sum it all up, this person's missing you in general. But they're really missing your wisdom, your conversations, and your supportive energy as they're going through this period of time. But they're trying to kind of like keep going with the knowledge that this part of the path is theirs to walk and theirs alone, right? With the butterfly, they're very aware they're going through an important transformative time. And it's kind of like the solace that helps them deal with the fact that you're not in their life in the way that they would like right now. So yeah, I think that's just about everything that I have for group one. I hope this has been helpful. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope I get the chance to read for you again in the future. And with that, I'm going to move on to group two. Bye guys. Hi, group two. Okay, so I actually feel like your energy, excuse me, is a lot lighter than group one. Even though we have this death card here, I feel like there's something where things with this person could have ended in the past, but it's been some time, right? Because these flowers have had time to grow. Yeah, there's been some time here for actual real transformation to take place for many of you. Yeah, I'm gonna, you know, this is one of those situations where I'm getting, this is like a very specific message. If it's not your message, feel free to pick another pile or stick around even to see if there's like, even if there's one card and a message with that card that resonates with you, this might still be helpful. But this very much feels like if you pick this pile, excuse me, you've been in separation with this person for quite a long time. Not quite a long time, but this isn't like, oh, we haven't talked for a week. This feels like the lowest end of this separation period is like bare minimum 2 months, but probably a significant period longer. That's the first one they gave me. They're like, no less than 2 months. And I feel like for many of you, you guys haven't been talking while you're in separation, or you guys haven't talked for a very long time. This is Scorpio energy, so that could apply to you or your person. But in this time, there's been a lot of transformation. And this is for both of you, but especially I'm feeling like for your person. There's been a lot, because there's a butterfly on only one tree. And it's the one on the right, which is associated with the divine masculine. So this could be the divine masculine's been through a massive transformation. Yeah, and there's almost like this like energy of the backwards law here, because this person's not facing it, right? So like they're going through this transformation, but they're not even looking at it. This kind of has that like, this is why if you've been in separation with this person, it's almost like you guys had to let go of the connection entirely, because there's something where it's like by focusing on it, whether it's you or them or both of you, or by like staying in contact, it's almost like it would evade you longer, which I know is really frustrating. But that's kind of what I'm picking up a little bit, if that makes any sense. So let's see what you have for your cards, because I'm really curious. What is this person missing the most about you? We have, oh, happy. That's card 26, so that reduces to an 8. Sorry if you can hear my bones crack. We have, no kidding, spiritual partnership, 27, so there's progression forward, but that reduces to a 9. We have, oh, you'll always be a big part of why I'm pursuing my dreams. What a beautiful way to touch someone's life. Thank you. So much purple here too. Super spiritual. I still experience your energy like an echo throughout my entire life. Oh, I feel that. Oh, little babies. Oof. Okay, betrayal. This is card 51 that reduces to a 6. We have the sun. Okay. Wow, the world reversed. And the 4 of Wands reversed. You know what's interesting? While I was shuffling this deck to prepare, this card came out and it was reversed, and I turned it upright. So it's interesting that even with that, it ended up reversed. Okay, wow, we have a lot to talk about. So this is most likely going to be my divine counterpart pile if you resonate with twin flame or high level soulmate. This is what we're talking about here. Because this is a very spiritual partnership. So let's talk about what's happened. We have this 4 of Wands reversed, and we have betrayal, right? This could be exactly what it looks like, where there was infidelity or there was some level of significant betrayal or dishonesty. You know what's interesting too is the flowers are coming out of the vertebrae here, and I was like, that feels significant, but I don't know how. You know what's making me think of is the 10 of Swords in the tarot. It usually shows a guy laying face down with 10 swords in his back, and it's like where there was once betrayal, there are actually beautiful things that are coming out of this. There is growth, there is enlightenment that's coming out of this, but I don't think that's like apparent yet, right? It's not showing itself yet. But your team does want you to know that. I do see that this person has likely, I want to pull a clarifier for this betrayal. Like I said, this could be, you know, straight up infidelity, but what do we have here? Okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles and then the Knight of Swords. So this could have to do with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What I feel like happened is that you invested with, yeah, the Two of Cups in reverse at the bottom. You invested with this person, and I almost feel like, because these are, you know, this is like slow and steady wins the race. It's the oak tree, right? You invested a lot with this person because you saw the potential. And I feel like it got to a certain point and then this person bounced. This person dipped on you. Whether that's to be with somebody else, because look, he's still holding, like he's still embracing her. And she's got all the little hearts, very much in love. So whether that's to be with somebody else or that's to pursue something that, this has like an energy of like the grass is greener. So this could be where this person left to go traveling. They, you know, took a job elsewhere. This also could be where, because the Knight of Swords, I have mixed feelings about the Knight of Swords. He's like that kind of person that I think would be a really fun friend, but very, very difficult to date. He is very smart, very witty. He can be very funny, but he can also be really like kind of blunt, kind of selfish, right? Because he's already been the page, but he's not yet the king. So this means he's learned a bit, but he hasn't like learned through experience, right? He thinks he knows everything, and he hasn't been through those next iterations of the queen to the king to then get that humility of like, I don't know everything, right? Like, so the Knight of Swords can be a little challenging in my perspective, just because he is his own god to a certain extent. It just doesn't occur to him that he could be wrong. It's not intentional, but he lacks finesse. And he can sometimes be tactless. So this even could be where this person said or did some things that were very like seemingly out of character. I feel like this person was almost like a Knight of Pentacles at first, or that's the image, the impression you had of them. And then they kind of almost like changed on a dime. You know, if anyone's familiar with the Knights of the Tarot, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck, and the Knight of Swords is the fastest, right? And it's almost kind of like this energy this person was investing with you, and then it hit a wall. And it almost feels like a total and utter betrayal, because this person could have just been like they could have almost like seemingly switched on a dime where it was working really well, and then they're like, I need my space, I need my freedom. Or it was working really well, and then they're like, somebody else came into their life, and they're like, I want to go pursue things with them. Like, I want to see what's going on with them, you know? It's kind of this energy of like, because look at that, you have the open book, and it's like just a little bit more than halfway into the book, right? It's like there's so much still left to be written, and this person just like left you hanging. They just kind of bounced. You know, we have this Four of Wands reversed, and one of the things this can kind of talk about, this is like divine union, but it's reversed. And so it's kind of like they dismantled your union. And I feel like that left you really confused for a really long time. Possibly very, very hurt as well for a really, really long time. And so I do see that here. And there is an element with the world reversed. This person is really hoping, I want to look at the bottom of the deck. I don't know why. Oh yeah, we already talked about that. Two of Cups reversed. Yeah, this person may have kind of like either officially left or just kind of like left you hanging in order to pursue something that they thought was really important to them. So this could be like, I'm hearing like an ex, you know, like something like that, or a job that they thought would really like make them happy, or to go like study abroad somewhere. It's something where, because the Knight of Swords also is like kind of a traveler, he's on the move a lot. It's something where they got restless, I feel like, and they just kind of were like, all right, see ya. And it kind of like left you to wonder like, who is this person? Because again, I feel like they had a very Knight of Pentacles energy initially. And I feel like it left you to really question what you mean to them, like a lot. Especially with that Knight of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles kind of energy coming through. If things moved, you know, slow but steady, it's like, I feel like in your mind, you're kind of like, okay, that's just sort of who they are. That's where they're at. I don't mind taking things slow. That's fine. And then the fact that they could just so quickly redirect their energy, you're kind of like, wait, did I miss that? Like, did they actually ever care about me like that? Did I just convince myself that that was, that was better because I wanted to be with them? It left you with a lot of questions and a lot of doubt. So something this person wants you to know is that this option, whatever it was they were pursuing, ended up not being what they thought it was. And I think part of their lesson, pardon my sniffles, really had to come from, you guys had to be separated, like separated. Part of their lessons really had to come from the lack of you. Like, they even say here, like, I still experience your energy like an echo throughout my entire life. Your energy haunts this person. And partially why is this spiritual connection, but also with happy and the sun, you make this person incredibly happy. I forgot to mention we have Leo energy here showing up, as well as with the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac on the world card. That would be Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, in case any of those are important. You make this person incredibly happy. They love being around you. They feel like they've connected with you at a deep level. And that might not be something that they're used to. I want to know why. I'm sorry, I'm spiritually nosy. I'm like, now I want to know what's going on here. Okay, the 3 of Wands and the Judgment card reversed. Okay. And the 9 of Pentacles reversed at the bottom. So what I feel like happened with this is that there's something where, again, Judgment reversed. This was a situation from the past. Maybe it's an opportunity that they had always wanted for themselves or they had wanted for a long time. It might be an ex. This is definitely a situation of like kind of, it's like a mixture of the grass is greener on the other side and like a missed opportunity. So they went after whatever this was. They either distance themselves from you considerably or cut you off completely in order to pursue this other opportunity. Because with the 3 of Wands here, they have been waiting on this for a really long time. Again, there's distance is indicated here as well. So they could have moved away or been considering something that asked them to move away. It could be that they were planning to move and then they met you and that's asked them to reevaluate, and like this opportunity came up and they're like, I can't say no to that. I can't say no to my dreams. And I feel like this is an interesting message with that 9 of Pentacles reversed at the bottom. Yeah, because beneath that was the star. There is an illusion here. So for some of you, they took this opportunity because they thought that this was still, they wanted to, so, okay, hang on. For some of you, they took this opportunity because in the past, they passed it up. They were being overly self-sacrificial, and it's kind of like this energy of, I don't want to miss out on this again. Right? And they thought that that was the way to honor themselves. For some of you, they took this opportunity knowing at some level, like subconsciously, that it would undermine your union. And they did it because they had self-worth issues that they had to resolve. It's like deep down, they felt like, because, we have the sun, we have happy, the world, 4 of Wands is present. Like they really could see everything with you, and it spooked them out a little bit. So for some of you, this person really needed to, this person ran toward this other opportunity because they were running away from, especially what happens when you're given everything, right? Especially if you've not had it for the majority of your life, or you've been on your own for the majority of your life, or you've really struggled. Having something like gift wrap, having your wish handed to you on a silver platter can be kind of overwhelming. And I'm not excusing toxic behavior, but it's not about you per se. It's about them not knowing how to handle being happy, or that their idea of happiness can grow and change. And there's something where it feels like they were really trying to figure out what was their wish and what wasn't. Because I feel like with that star card showing up at the bottom, what they want for themselves has changed. But I don't know if they're aware of that. And that's what I think was playing out here, is this opportunity came up and they jumped at it, either because they didn't, maybe in the past they passed it up and then they regretted it and they were like, I should have done this for me, right? And they felt like pursuing this now was like, they kind of got the lesson, but they weren't applying it, right? They were applying it to the situation, not to their life in general. Because this person might have sort of low-key people-pleasing tendencies, even though it doesn't seem like it. So I feel like it's kind of like, Like, yeah, if this was an opportunity to travel, you know, and work abroad, they may have just taken that because in the past they turned it down, and they're like, well, I don't want to miss out on this. And what they're missing is the lesson was about, you know, fulfilling your own dreams regardless of what those dreams are. So I feel like it's not that they didn't want to be with you. It's just like they didn't want to, they acted hastily. And they didn't stop to actually think about, okay, but what are my dreams now, right? Where am I now? And again, for some of you, this person's never had a connection like this before, and it spooked them out. And so it's kind of like this energy, especially if they themselves have been betrayed before. They were kind of like, whoa, I gotta do my own thing. I gotta get out of here. Like, and I feel like they at the time couldn't really articulate what they were going through, but they have had time to think about it. So you've been in some type of separation from this person, and this person has had a lot of time. They see signs of you everywhere. They think about you. I feel like they're showing me the image of somebody like dreaming, and they wake up and it's like such a vivid dream, and then they kind of realize that you're not there with them, and it like hurts them physically. Like they're upset, right? It's like a punch in the gut. Like they have these really vivid dreams about you, and you might dream about them as well, but they have these really vivid dreams about you where they feel like you guys are back together, and then when they wake up, they're just like, oh my God, it wasn't even real. Like, holy shit. This person's really being put through their paces when it comes to you because their spiritual team is very much trying to make a point. So what this person misses the most about you is, I feel like you guys just get each other. You make this person incredibly happy. You've also, I feel like, really inspired them. Again, it's, you know, why I'm pursuing my dreams. You've inspired them to reevaluate what they want for themselves. And this might be why they jumped at this other opportunity, is because they haven't really like fully integrated this yet. You guys, I feel like, have a deeply spiritual and psychic bond. Again, you might dream about each other a lot. You might see a lot of signs and synchronicities of each other. Know that if you experience their energy, you see signs of them. They see signs of you. I was going to say they see signs of you just as much, but their spirit guides are like, nope, they see more. Like their spirit guides are really essentially lovingly, but like booting them in the ass for the mistake, because they're trying to make sure it doesn't repeat itself. This person with the world reversed, this person is really afraid that it's like completely over. They've blown their chances, and they may have, and I'm not here to tell you, you know, what to do about that. Always do what honors you. But this person's really hoping that you're not completely done with them. This person's praying that this isn't done yet. And this also might be why they are hesitating to reach out, because they're really afraid to hear like it's game over. That's, you know, I'm sorry, but that's all there is to it. Yeah. This person's really afraid. And I'm almost drawn to the image on this where there's like a lot of stuff on the table. It's like they're looking at everything they've made, everything they've done. They're putting it all out on the table to like look at everything. And they're kind of like, oh boy, I made a mess of this. And one of the meanings of the Four of Wands reverse can talk about a personal victory as well. I really feel like this person thought that they were fulfilling a personal goal. They thought that they were doing right by their own soul. And they're really having time to kind of come to terms with the fact that not only was it not a choice that would fulfill them and make them happy, but that they may have sacrificed something really significant, both in pursuing this other opportunity, but especially the way they did it. That's like, I'm feeling that really strongly. Like if this was like, you know, taking a job abroad, it kind of has this energy where like if they had told you like, look, I got offered this position 5 years ago and I turned it down to be with somebody who eventually ended up, you know, cheating on me and breaking my heart. I feel like I need to explore this. I feel like that would be a different circumstance than whatever it is they did. If they just like let you know like, hey, I accepted this offer and I'm leaving in 3 weeks or something, right? Or, you know, if they had let you know about like, hey, you know, an ex contacted me and we had a really tumultuous relationship and I feel like I need to talk to them. I feel like I need closure, or I feel like I need to explore that a little bit more. That would be very different than like, you know, you find out late one night that they've been texting back and forth for weeks, right? It's like the way they handled it. It would have been hard enough if they had just like been very upfront about it and very like sensitive to your feelings, but letting you know that like, I need to do this, I need to pursue this. But it's like the way they handled it was just a little added like salt in the wound. And they're having plenty of time to think about this. And it's kind of like this energy where I feel like they're trying to ignore it a little bit, because they know that they botched something. And there's such a fear that if they come back toward you, you will reject them, and that's it. That's game over for them. So there's something where it's like I feel like they're stalling. They're like procrastinating on coming toward you because there is such a fear, and they're like trying to kind of like collect themselves. But what they miss most about you, they miss your energy. You light up their fucking life. Like, they miss your energy. They miss how much they feel like you just get them. You just get them, they just get you. You guys have this spiritual partnership, like the spiritual connection. And I feel like that doesn't happen very often. You are like sunshine to this person. You might be like really heavily encouraging them. You may have brought new things into their life that help put them on a path to pursue an important dream. You guys are very significant to one another. Even if you're not like counterparts, you guys were really pivotal to each other's life journeys this lifetime. And they're missing that. They're missing all the happiness you shared. They might be coming into awareness about the spiritual aspect of this connection, and they're like really regretting what they have done. This is like this, oh my God, I cannot believe this kind of energy. So much so that like they're trying to ignore it a little bit because there's a lot of fear. But this person really misses you. This person, especially if you guys did like creative projects together, like this person really misses what you guys would make. You guys had a lot of really good times. They really like laughing with you. This person feels like you really care about their wishes and their dreams with the stars here. You really care. You genuinely care about their happiness. And I feel like they've had some significant connections in their life in the past where the other person couldn't be bothered. So they're really like touched by your authentic, genuine concern, or your authentic, genuine investment in them. And they're definitely having to sit with that now. And this is why your guides have kind of like separated you, is because if you were still in their life, there's a way where they could still be in denial. Or there's like a way they could kind of try to mitigate. They need to feel the full effects of what they've done, not to punish them, but to make a point, because otherwise they'll keep making the same mistakes. So that Knight of Swords we saw earlier, they'll always be trying to bounce to the next thing, and they're missing some of the lessons that can be learned by just having to sit in it, because this person I feel like is very uncomfortable just sitting in their emotions for too long. Yeah. But this person really misses your energy, your disposition, how happy you made them, the good times you had together. Being around you is like being in the sun for them. And that's such a contrast to this nighttime that they're in right now, and they notice. They really, really notice. So I think that's just about everything I have for group 2. I hope this has been helpful. I am wishing you the best, brightest, most beautiful things that life has to offer, love bugs. And with that, I'm going to move on to group 3. Bye. Okay, hi group 3. So right off the bat, as soon as I picked up your stack, I was getting this really like feisty, spicy energy. I feel like your person has this energy where I don't know what level of connection you guys currently have. I'm almost feeling like you guys are not like an outright separation, but you're maybe fighting right now. I feel like maybe you're ignoring them a little bit. Or you're like trying to keep them at arm's length, and they energetically or like in their head, they're very much like, you're not going to be able to hold me off forever. Like, they are determined. They give no shits. Like, they are determined to, like, what I'm hearing is like, you're like, you're at least gonna hear me out. You're gonna listen to me, damn it. So like, again, you know, always do what you feel you need to do to support yourself and your own well-being. But if you're wondering if this person cares, they legitimately do, to the point where they don't care if you cuss them out. They don't care if you don't want to hear it. They're going to tell you about their feelings. They're going to try to, you know, tell you their side of the story. Because I feel like this person did something to piss you off. And this has almost like, this is a very fiery energy. So maybe you guys are both fire signs or have significant fire placements. But like, this person's like, you're going to sit down and you're going to listen to me. And like, this has this energy of like, you're not going to be such a stubborn pain in the ass. And I know that because I'm a stubborn pain in the ass. And like, you guys are two sides of the same coin. And this person, especially if they, because this has this energy where you might be missing information and they're trying to get your attention. So like, from the outside, it might appear like they've done something irredeemable, but there's a missing piece of information. At the very least, what they want is they're like, you're at least going to hear me out. And if at the end of that you want to tell me to buzz off and never talk to you again, I'll accept it, but I need you to hear me. That's kind of the energy, and they're very adamant about that. Like, that's very much the case, is like, you need to hear me and really hear me. And if after that you are still mad, or you don't want anything to do with me, or, you know, you want to cuss me out, read me the riot act, absolutely, but you need to listen. Like, I don't know what it is. So I don't know if they like messed up horribly, or I don't know exactly sure, but that's their energy. Again, you know, it's not always reflective of you know, your truth or the entirety of the situation, but that's the energy they're in right now, is like, you know, 10 of Wands especially, they're trying to close out a cycle, and this is like very much like, I don't care how much of a burden it is for me, I'm going to keep pursuing you. So this person, like, you may have already told them, like, fuck off, and they're still kind of like buzzing around. They're still trying to get your attention. They're not giving up anytime soon. Like, very determined, very King of Wands energy. So let's see what you have. What is this person missing most about you? We have Observer. Yeah, this person's watching you. If you block this person, they're trying to watch your social media. Hardcore. Anyway, we have 49 that reduces to a 13, which reduces to a 4. We have Teaching and Learning, 57, that reduces to a 12, which reduces to a 3. We have, yeah, I wish I had told you when it mattered most, but I'm telling you now, I love you endlessly. Oh, I love this one. I still have indestructible hope that we'll figure it out someday. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Self-consciousness, 67, that reduces to a 13, which reduces to a 4, so 4 is showing up twice. Okay. The 6 of Cups. Oh. Death. Okay. And the 2 of Swords. Okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Let me see. Can you guys see all those? Let me look. Oh, it's nice. Let me just boop, scoot it right down. Okay, Scorpio energy here, in case that's important for you. Yeah, so this is kind of in alignment with what we were talking about. First and foremost, 6 of Cups, you guys might have past life energy together. You guys might have known each other since childhood or adolescence. But there's a sweetness here. You guys really do get along. You guys, like, they're showing me like people where it's like you're up all night and you're like laughing about stuff. It's almost like being a kid at a sleepover. You guys just really like each other. You enjoy each other's company, but you guys are very similar, right? And the thing with like past life connections in this lifetime is it can feel intense, because very quickly, you know, you have all this energy built up from this past life. So you guys can get along really well, but that also means that any irritation or inflammation in the connection can be activated very easily. So you're like, I've known this person for, 3-4 months and we're fighting like an old married couple. What happened? You know, and this is because you have all that energy built up. So I do kind of sense like, and I think it usually is fun, like maybe you guys like just kind of like hilariously bicker a little bit back and forth, but something happened here. I'm sorry, I'm spiritually nosy. What happened? What is this situation? Okay, the 9 of Cups reversed and the 4 of Cups. Okay. And then the 5 of Pentacles is at the bottom. What I feel like most likely happened for a lot of you is that one of you wanted to move things in a particular direction with the 9 of Cups, and the other person stalled, right? We have 2 Cups cards, very emotional energy. We have water, 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 a lot of emotions. Even though there was like a fiery energy here, I do still feel like there's also a lot of like emotional attachment. So what I feel like most likely happened is like you guys have this great bond. And then, you know, especially with the Death card, I feel like one of you is ready for a change. You're ready to like transform the connection, take it to the next level. Death card is Scorpio energy. This is all about intimacy, right? Intimate mergers, union, becoming one. One of you is ready for that and really, really, really wanted that, both in their life and in this connection more specifically. We have the robe hanging here, which I was like, oh, that means somebody's naked out there. And nakedness always implies vulnerability. So one of you may have really kind of like, but we don't see a naked person. I feel like one of you kind of like maybe put out a hint, or like you started to kind of move toward having this conversation. And there's something that the other person said or didn't say. I feel like there's like kind of a miscommunication a little bit. I feel like one of you wanted this, and this is most likely you, my lovely viewer, really wanted, like, look at all this pink, that's heart chakra energy, really wanted to move things forward, and you were starting to prepare to open up and like directly ask that. So you may have started to like prime the, you know, the works for this conversation by trying to find out more about how this person was feeling about you. And this is where we have this, right? I wish I told you when it mattered most, but I'm telling you now, I love you endlessly. I feel like this person lost their nerve. This person didn't understand what you were trying to do. This person may have even kind of like tried to push your buttons a little bit. Like, this person didn't handle it well with the 4 of Cups, and this is because there was a little bit of trepidation around expressing their feelings for whatever reasons. And I think it kind of gave you the impression that they didn't care. So you may have kind of been like, you know, especially with the 6 of Cups, there's like, we have all this, like, we have this bond, we have this energy. And with self-consciousness, this has nothing to do with you. This has everything to do with, like, he's got a mirror. So this connection mirrored some things back to the other person about themselves where they were, like, self-conscious. So maybe they didn't, excuse my hiccup. Maybe they didn't feel good enough for you. Maybe they didn't, like, know, you know, they didn't feel emotionally mature enough or able to talk about their emotions enough. But it's something where it's like, I'm getting this energy, they hesitated. They took a little bit too long. With observer, maybe they were in observer mode too long and they didn't, there's lessons here that are being learned. And for your person, at the very least, one of the lessons is about getting in touch with their feelings and then being unafraid to express their feelings and take a leap of faith into the next step. Because it's not they don't love you, they love you a shitload. And I'm sure you know that. You may doubt that, but I'm sure you feel it. But this person, especially because, like, Scorpio has a stereotypical kind of reputation for not handling rejection super well, but also holding a grudge. I feel like this person, like, the way it feels like it's like this was a big thing for you. And it almost has this energy of, like, we know each other so well. We get along so well. You know, observer, we know so much about each other. We've seen each other through these different circumstances, right? Like, how can you not know this about me? How can you not look at my pattern of behavior and tell? And it's not that they don't know these things about you. It's that they're struggling within themselves to be able to either see themselves as somebody who can commit to, you know, down the road, commit for the long haul, or somebody who deserves to be with you. And there's just hesitation and trepidation. And it feels like this person waited a little bit too long, and that was really, really hurtful and painful. You may have given this person time with observer where you're like watching their behavior to kind of see if they were going to figure it out, or if they were going to be able to go the distance, and then they did something or didn't do something, and it led to the end of a phase in this connection. But this has this feeling that you cut them off for whatever reasons. And for some of you, it might be that they preemptively cut things off. But the reason why I feel like you cut things off is because they didn't express their true emotions, right? Two of Swords here. There's a lack of communication. This is a stalemate. There's a lack of movement forward. You may have issued an ultimatum, and it's almost like they took too long to think about it. And you're like, well, if you have to take this long to think about, if you want to commit to this, if you want to take this to the next level, then you're not invested in me, and I don't need that in my life. And it feels like you cut them off. And that's not, I'm not saying like that's necessarily the wrong thing to do, but what this person would want you to know is they do love you. They love you a shitload. Their inability to express this has nothing to do with you. And this is why I feel like I was picking up on this energy of like, you're going to listen to me. Because it's kind of like this energy of they need to tell you this themselves. And in their mind, they're kind of like getting the courage, right? There's multiple butterflies, so maybe some other circumstances needed to change as well. Also, we have the fox here, and foxes are, really resourceful and sly, and they have an excellent sense of timing, right? They move swiftly at the right moment, very much strike when the iron's hot. And so your person's waiting for the right moment to tell you these things, but this is why I feel like they're so insistent, like, I need to tell you this because I didn't express it before, I didn't tell you before, I didn't clue you into what I was thinking and feeling. So it's kind of this energy of like, if you shoot me down after this, fine, I accept it. If you don't want to be with me after everything, fine, I accept that, but you need to know how I feel, and I'm not leaving until you hear it. It's kind of that energy. Like, they, especially, I'm almost feeling like they tend to be like maybe more shy or reserved, or maybe like at least shy with their feelings, but they're not shy and they're not backing down. They don't give a shit. Like, I don't know how else to say it. They're like making their, especially where the fox is looking at the moon with the phases, they're waiting for the exact right time to come forward and tell you this, because they know how they feel. They know that they made a mistake by waiting too long. They do feel like there is an element where they're being almost unfairly punished a little tiny bit. Again, not saying that's necessarily the case. You might be very, very justified. Always do, like I said, what's nurturing and supportive to you. But they do kind of feel like a little frustrated, but they also understand that they put you through, that they hurt you by waiting. They made you like, their hesitancy and their issues created a painful situation for you, and they want to take responsibility for that. They're not negating that, but there's kind of like, okay, I get it, but I'm a human being too. And they do kind of want to put that out there. And there are lessons for you in both this. I'm going to pull a card to clarify this. Yeah, Seven of Cups reversed. This is confusion around emotions. Your person was just confused more than anything else. And the Page of Wands reversed. They could be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. Your person was confused, and yeah, Strength at the bottom, the extra Leo energy. Your person was really confused about when to take action on things. In the past, they may have rushed into relationships too quickly. This could be a recurring problem about expressing their emotions, but it created confusion for them. So this is what was being worked through, is like being able to get in touch with their emotions and then take responsibility for their emotions in the sense of like expressing them, expressing what they would like as a result, what they need, things like that. These are consistent problems for your person that this connection is pushing them to help them resolve, to have a breakthrough. And I still have indestructible hope that we'll figure it out someday. I love this one so much. It's like, it's so interesting. This person knows that, you guys have real potential. You guys really understand each other. You get each other. There's a lot of beautiful opportunity here. They still have hope. They still have, they're still determined to keep trying as long as they're able to. They're not backing down. They're not giving up, and they'll respect it. Again, if you hear them out with an open mind and an open heart, and you still say no, they'll respect it. They'll respect your boundaries. But sorry about the motorcycles. This person is gonna need to express themselves. They want to. That's where they're at. But this person also still wants you in their life no matter what, even if it's not romantically. If you guys are friends or you're collaborators together, this person wants you to be in their life in some way, shape, or form. And they're willing to accept your boundaries and take accountability and responsibility for anything that they've done wrong. So I want to pull more cards because I feel like that's mostly talking about what's happened. In terms of what we see on the board for what they're missing about you, they just miss your company. They really miss your energy. You might have a lot of, like, especially with teaching and learning and observer, they might learn a lot from you. You might be very free with your emotions. Like, you're just very free with your emotional expression, and they learn from this. But I want to pull more about, and they have a soft spot for you, big time. They also learn a lot about themselves by your example, and they kind of miss that, but I do want to pull more specifically about what they're missing about you. The Tower reverse, I feel like you help them make changes seem more manageable. You help them, like, support them through shifts and changes in their life, and they appreciate that quite a lot about you. We see that with the Death card energy as well. But we have the Six of Pentacles reversed. Well, the Four of Wands reversed. And the Sun. Okay. So one of the meanings of the Four of Wands reversed is personal, like a personal victory. One of the things this person really misses about you, they really like about you, is you will go out of your way to help people reach their personal goals, right? To help people go after what it is that they most desire, right? I feel like what I'm hearing is, like, you have an indomitable, like, belief in love and in, like, love-based vibrations, right? So joy, happiness, fulfillment, things like that. And you will support people energetically in reaching those for themselves. You encourage them. You're like their biggest cheerleader, just for the people in your life in general. And with the Six of Pentacles reversed, you don't mind giving to others, even with the knowledge that they're not going to reciprocate it, right? Like, if somebody's, like, needs help with something, you're not nickel and diming them, like, yeah, okay, I'll do this for you if you do this for me. You'll jump right in. You're like, yeah, okay, what do you need? Like, you know, it's almost like when you have extra to, like, when you have when you have it in the tank, when you have the resources, the energy, the emotional investment, you'll give it freely. You don't even care. This person just, excuse my burp, sees you as a ray of sunshine. They really enjoy being around you. You just lift everybody's spirits. And this person views you as a treasure, and they're really missing that about you. And it's not even, I feel like really called to stress this, it's not even for, like, how that benefits them. They just like knowing that there are people like you on this planet. They like knowing that you're in the world, because it's one of the, like, I say this, sometimes this is like, I was talking to a friend recently, and I said this, and, like, this is kind of the energy. It's like the world would be a much better place if there were more people like you in it. And this is how this person feels about you. This is what they're missing the most about you, is just to watch you, especially if you identify as, like, a starseed, a light worker, to watch you work your own light, your magic, to watch you work on behalf of the, of spirit, of the universe, and create a better world around you. They really like watching that. And they've gotten to directly benefit from this, but it's not even what they can get from it. They just like watching you shine in the world. You might have a platform and people know you. They like to watch your content or creep on your content. But they just really like watching you do your thing. They like watching you engaging in your passions as well. I'm also getting this energy that you really like to learn. And there's something about the way that you learn about things that, like, breaks down the stigma of not knowing, right? We have a thing in our culture about, like, where it's like a little bit stigmatized to have to say, like, oh, I don't know, or, like, I'm not sure. Being wrong is, like, the worst thing you can be. And I feel like you're very free about it. You'll admit, like, oh, I don't know, let's go find out. Like, you're very willing to go and learn, and you're also very willing to teach people without shaming them or making them feel bad. Like, you're very much in this energy of, like, information is for everybody. We can, we all teach and learn. We're all teachers and students at different points in our lives. Like, you really, like, take the stigma out of personal growth, development, and improvement. And this person admires that very heavily. They're really missing that right now, because I do feel like they've been on a personal growth journey lately. And this is also why they want to come talk to you. They want to be like, I need to say this stuff to you. I need to know that I tried, but I also want to show you what a positive impact you've made, because I'm able to be at this point I'm able to get to this point in my development because of things I learned from you. And I need you to see that what you've done makes a positive impact. It matters. This person's very determined about that. So that is what they're missing most about you. They're really just missing your shine, your sparkle, the way that you bring this high vibrational energy into your life and into the lives of the people's lives that you touch as well. I was gonna be like, into the lives of people you touch, and I was like, wait, no. So yeah. So that is what this person is missing most about you. I hope this has been helpful for you guys. I am wishing you the best, brightest, most beautiful things that life has to offer. Take care, love bugs. Bye.